Yeah, we have our today's hero also, that hero in civil, A.P. Naidu Garu, then erstwhile Sergeant turned out to be an IRS officer, the posting of Assistant Income Tax Commissioner, a very influential post to hold as an IRS officer. So now we are going to listen to his adventurous journey also as a part of his second career, apart from participating in, I think, 65 and 71 wars and Naga insurgency operations and the things like that. So,
before that, my salutations to each and everyone participating here. My Air Force salutes to everybody.
Yeah, that is A.P. Naidu Garu, Sergeant A.P. Naidu Garu, that who turned out to be the Assistant Commissioner of Income Tax. So, welcome, sir. Thank you for your participation for today's webinar. So you are the rock star for the day.
Oh.
So I think I request everybody also to briefly introduce themselves before we go on the main cause. Yes, sir.
This is Air Veteran Sergeant Manjunath joining the webinar from Bangalore.
Thank you, Manjunath ji. Thank you. Yes, sir. Next, Ramesh Babu.
Can you see me? I am JW Ramesh Babu Vidyarthi from Indore, Madhya Pradesh. And I am available for the ePPO services. If you need any services, I am available for your disposal, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Welcome all.
Yes.
I am MW Shinde, speaking from Mysuru.
Welcome, sir. Shinde, sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening to all of you, and especially special thanks to the organizer. Good evening to all. Thank you.
Welcome, sir. Welcome, Amin sir.
From Kanyakumari.
Yes, sir. Next.
Jai Hind, sir. This is Raghunath Inamdar from Baroda.
Welcome, sir. We missed you last time, it seems.
Yes, sir. 2 sessions I could not attend because of some other commitment.
Okay, sir. Welcome, sir, again.
Naidu Garu, all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
I'm keenly I want to listen to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your interest.
Next, I also request others also to on the chat part. Welcome, Naidu Garu. We are proud of your success in civil life. So
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So,
good evening,
yes,
sir. Everyone. Welcome to Naidu, sir. And I am B.A. Sharma, Vansar B.A. Sharma from Jaipur.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Atak Sahib, namaskar.
Good evening, sir. Sergeant Satbir from Mumbai, CSD.
welcome, Satbir ji. Okay. Yes.
Hello, good evening to everybody. I am Sergeant R.S. Damle from Pune.
Welcome, Damle sir. Welcome.
Okay.
Good evening. Good evening. Welcome. Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Pathak Sahib, you can also.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear. Yes, sir.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening,
Pathak sir.
Good evening.
Naidu sir.
Good evening, sir.
We welcome you on the group.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Lovely narration, interesting session we must have.
I don't know. Let us see. With all your best wishes, with all your expectations.
We know it will be interesting.
Yeah. I think you can give a lot of advice on our income tax part also, as and when we require. With his kind of experience.
Yeah.
So, Vasu Garu, please. Yourself. Vasu Garu. So, our Sergeant Vasu from Vasudhaiva Kutumbam, a beautiful group. Yes. And he's also doing a lot for the bank employees. Yes, sir. Vasu Garu, you can introduce yourself.
Sir, good evening, sir. I am Sergeant Vasu. Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are audible. Yes.
Yeah, sir, I am Sergeant Vasu. Presently working as assistant manager and we can't say him. Thank you for.
Yeah. We are going to fulfill your wish that MP or Suresh Kumar Kashyap is coming next Sunday. I mean next Wednesday, 37th.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And today I think A.P. Naidu sir is actually as usual as you were telling us, sir. Actually, the income tax department loopholes. What is it?
Yes.
Yeah. So very both calm ka aaj mein.
Because this government actually we middle class people we are paying a lot.
I always prefer to introduce myself as an ex-serviceman rather than income tax, because on income tax there is a little of a negative opinion for people. So, introducing myself as an ex-serviceman gives me proud.
एक पे क्लिक करो फिर आएंगे.
Yeah, Vasu garu, thank you for joining.
Good afternoon, good evening, Andy. All good, I think. So I'm right now speaking from Bangalore.
Yeah.
At this moment, I'm in Bangalore now.
Great. Okay. Keep changing places from place to
Some
place.
projects over here. Yeah.
That's good. Okay. So, yeah, anybody else, sir, before we start? And we have Mukesh ji, Anand Sapre Saab, then Das Sab is also as it is. Das sir, if you can.
I'm
Sam.
I'm Sam Sudhakar,
Uh-huh.
ex-Air Force.
Okay, welcome.
I'm retired from Customs and Central Excise,
Oh, great.
Hyderabad Airport, Shamshabad Airport.
Okay. Retired as a?
Air Customs Superintendent, sir.
Oh, great. Guested post. So, welcome, sir. Welcome.
Right, thank you. Actually, my front camera is not working properly. So
Okay, it's okay.
I'll put it I'll switch it off.
Yes, sir. Das sir, if you can show up once and we can start the program. Yeah, we need your blessing, sir. That's what.
I have introduced myself as Group Captain Das, known for Battle of Longewala, got to VRC in that war. That is enough, I think.
And sir, we are going to have your call on 11, sir.
Yes.
Eagerly waiting for your webinar, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your acceptance and participation also, sir. So I think others can, introduce themselves at the time of question and answer session. So we can go to the main topic. So one more, our air warrior, Wing Commander Suresh Karnik, sir, is also coming. He's also joining now. Welcome, sir. Wing Commander Suresh Karnik, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, welcome, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm late.
No, not at all, sir. We are in fact blessed with your presence, yours and Group Captain Gohen Saab and Group Captain Das Saab. So you're all our regular patrons, we can say, to get going with this program.
Thank you.
So we are also going to have our IAF to IAS. Patil Saab is also on the call now. Welcome, sir. Patil sir.
Oh, good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. Welcome.
Oh, good evening. Just now I returned from Belgaum, sir. 500 kilometers journey, reached Bangalore.
Oh, so kind of you, sir, to not to miss the program in spite of our
Yes, sir.
journey.
Yes, sir. Excellent opportunity of Air Force team.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So, today I have the privilege of introducing another air warrior in civil, excelled himself in his beautiful career of becoming Assistant Commissioner of Income Tax, having joined there as an inspector and went on to become ITO and finally retired as an Assistant Commissioner. So he is our Sergeant A.P. Naidu, then turned out to be IRS retired, born in a village near Tirupati, that is most holy place on the earth, on 1st January 1943. So had his primary education in the local school set up by his own father. And then he used to walk for about 25 kilometers for his secondary education in Tirupati. So he also got enrolled into Indian Air Force in 10th March 1962 and discharged from service after 15 years in March 1977 as a wireless operator, fitter. Then had his postings training in Bangalore, Ambala, Adampur, and Tufani fighter bombers and NAT trainer fighter aircraft also. Later in squadron of MiG-21 and MiG-29. participated in 1965 war at Tejpur, Siliguri, Bagdogra, and 71 war from Adampur, Amritsar, Jaisalmer, Jodhpur, and Pathankot and Chandigarh. And he also participated in Naga Insurgency Operation 1967 from Kumbhigram, Aizawl. He also had the opportunity of serving from the highest runway, that is Leh, Tosi, and Kargil also. Having educated in BA, MA from Punjab University while in service, and also he did his LLB subsequently. He was also awarded with the best technical instructor and best instructor. So best technician awards in the pre-release course of all the three services combined. And he was awarded in Vignar Bhavan also for securing best technician award in his pre-release course. And then he went on to serve for TIFR, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, for about nearly 2 years. From there, he got opportunity of appearing for SSC, where he became inspector in Income Tax Department and served the department almost for 2.5 decades with excellent track record. So that we are going to listen from him. So welcome, Naidu Garu. Welcome to this webinar, Wednesday webinars of success stories of our Air Warriors. So today is your day. So kindly take us through your childhood, how you were motivated to join in Indian Air Force from then onwards. Yes, sir. Welcome. So I request, Naidu Garu, please unmute yourself and speak. Yes.
About my video.
Yeah.
Okay?
Welcome, sir.
Loud
Welcome,
and clear,
Naidu ji.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Loud and clear.
Yeah.
Years back, we used to be very happy to hear this.
Yeah. 5 by 5 or loud and clear kind of thing.
Yeah. That's correct. That
Language.
used to be our dearest word in those days of a very difficult communication.
Yeah.
As you have already partly narrated it, I will only touch a very sensitive part of my life, sensitive and difficult part of my life.
Yeah.
So though I was born in a very medium agricultural family near Tirupati, the education was very, very poor, and my father was one of the very, very few people who have passed 10th in those days.
Oh, that's great. It's
so he set up a school because near around about 10 villages there was no school and there was no education. So he set up a school in our fields only and educated a lot of people. And he used to give free slates and all in those days. And one of such person who was educated my father was Dr. N. Venkataswamy, who was an IAS officer and retired as MP of Tirupati.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was his great. That taught me that if you give education to at least one person, even 1%, all your children and siblings will have post graduations. That's what God rewards. Similarly, we are 3 brothers. I am the eldest. So we all have become postgraduates. The education side we excelled. But the difficulty was that the most unfortunate thing in my life was that my father expired untimely when I was studying 5th standard.
Oh, so young age.
So young age. And that darkness largely loomed in my family. I was the first child in the combined family of, I think, 5 to 10 uncles. So being first, I was pampered very much. And to my astonish, I was attired as a girl till I studied 3rd standard. I used to wear frock and things like that, that earrings, nose ring, things like that.
So fond of you seeing as a girl only.
Yeah. So with the sudden demise of my father, my family went into difficulties. Being eldest son, they said you stop your education here with 5th standard and do the cultivation. Otherwise, how we are going to live with so much a big family? And I said, no, I am not going to stop education because I have seen my father, his name and fame during those days. It was only because he was studied. He has studied and established a school. Then I said I will study and there was no nearby school. The nearest school was at Tirupati, which is around 13-14 kilometers from my home. Then they thought if they ask me to go to Tirupati, I may not go because it's such a long distance at a young age. He will refuse and then let us do our cultivation. I said, no, I am determined to study. I used to walk 13-14 kilometers one way to Tirupati Devasthanam High School in those days. My mother, with all her difficulty, she used to pack some lunch for me. Either it is curd rice or whatever we call purihora. And then
when was that, sir? When was that? During 60s?
1950s. 1950, 40, 950s.
50s, oh.
50s.
Yeah. So
that is 5th standard means my age must have been about 10 years then.
Okay.
So then I had 2-3 persons as a company from my village. So we used to walk down from my native place to Tirupati and then go back. I am wonderstruck now. We used to walk down without chappal because in those days only rich people were wearing chappal.
Yeah, luxurious. Chappals are luxurious things.
Yeah. And cycle, anytime any cycle comes to my village, all the children will flock together to watch what is this mission. It is taking somebody on its head. So that was a day. Those were the days. So during examination time, I was feeling very tensed because there was no time to read. Morning you get up, you go to field. I have to go to visit the field once and then come back, prepare myself and come to school and then go back. So
going to field for what, sir? For cutting grass kind of thing?
No work because we were cultivating paddy. I have to go around the paddy that bunds and see whether water is draining off from one field to other field.
Okay.
So I have to block that and then come back.
Yeah.
Okay. I used to run, and so during the examination time, I used to request some friends of my uncle or some known persons that I will stay in their home, and my parents will give them some rice from our fields for my stay and things like that. So for 1 year I stayed with our own family tailor. For 1 year I stayed with our family doctor's house. After all, doing their works, that is
household chores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So somehow or other I passed my SSLC.
Okay, good.
So during SSLC time, I thought I will make very strict demands with my parents. Of course, my mother only was there. Whenever I asked for a demand, she used to weep. So I never used to ask because they were too unnecessarily trouble. So during the time of SSLC exam, I requested for a cycle that will make me, I will get very good marks so that I can be promoted to some other class. So somehow or other, they gave me 90 rupees for purchase of cycle. I came to Tirupati, I went to one cycle shop. I requested him, Baba, I want to purchase a cycle.
New one? Did you buy new one or old one for 90 rupees?
No, I was fancy about Hercules cycles in those days.
Okay.
So I went to one cycle shop. I was a kid after all. Then the man asked, what do you want? Then I said, I want to purchase a cycle. You are a child and who told you how much money you have? I said 90 rupees. He said, no, we have a cycle for 100 rupees. Then I requested him, Baba, I don't have 10 rupees. With this lot of struggle only I got 90. Then he said, anyway, you are a student, you take a Hercules cycle. Good. I took it. Why I am referring this? Because when I retired and became income tax officer, I wanted to know where is this person who sold me cycle, who gave me concession.
Okay. You wanted to pay him back or
no,
gratitude.
Just I wanted to thank him.
Gratitude,
In those days, he has helped me. That was 10 rupees was a quite big amount.
Big thing, but yeah.
So I found that he is running Gopal Auto Services. He was a dealer by then. This is a Honda motorcycles.
So he also got promoted.
Went to him. I asked him, Mr. Gopal, did you recognize me? I said, no, sir. Somebody told me that you are the income tax officer here. I said, no, I am the person who purchased the and you gave me concession of 10 rupees. He was so happy. So that was the difficult days we went on. Then after 10th, I searched for some jobs here and there, but I could not get it. Why I made a frantic search is because my mother was working at home and I had two more brothers. So if I go for cultivation, they have to follow with me for cultivation. If I get some job, whatever it may be, then I'll be able to educate my brothers. They will make a life of their own. They won't feel the absence of their father. That was my intention.
Yeah, okay.
So that I could not get the job because after all, who will give the job for an SLC fellow? Then anyway, I continued studying in pre-university. In those days, that 1 year intermediate pre-university, PUC, we used to call. Then one day someone said that they are recruiting for military in Chittoor. If you want to go off to military,
it is your district headquarters of Tirupati.
Yes, district headquarters.
Yeah.
Then I said, there is no problem. I will go and join the military. There I will get free food, free clothing. That is what I had by then.
Okay.
I said, okay. I went to Chittoor. Someone, Mr. Bhaskar Reddy, also attended along with me for that examination. Because I was walking every day 25 kilometers, the physical fitness and all was not a problem. Okay. I was occasionally reading papers and things like that. Because why I was reading papers? Because morning I have to get up, go to bus stop, which is around 1 kilometer. There was only one bus from Tirupati to that place in the morning and one in the evening. So he used to get the paper. I have to take the paper and give it to my uncle. So on the way, I just work, just cursorily, I just look and come back. So I passed. Till then, I did not tell my in my house that I am going there. So when I passed, they said you go and report to Bangalore.
So you mean military? You mean Air Force?
Air Force. That was in those days.
It was known
could
as.
Not distinguish it.
Achha, okay.
Then I went to there. One flight lieutenant. Sharma, I remember his name because he used to be very, very tough fellow.
Okay.
He used to call everybody Ray, Ray. I
thought,
what is this man calling Ray? I think maybe that job also will be like this only. But however, I said, okay, then I have passed. He has given a very, very good remark. I have written it somewhere, but I don't know. And then before leaving to Bangalore, I told in my house. My mother started weeping. And I said, no, mommy. I will go and then you watch me what I will do. Then I went to Bangalore, 3 years. I took training for about less than 1 year because I think my entry into the Air Force, the Pakistan decided to trouble us. So my training, though it was for 1 year, it was abruptly ended in December because by then the Chinese invasion was taking place.
Okay.
So I have completed in good grade. I think what do we call it as AC1 or something like that. So I was happy. Then I was posted to 16 SU Ambala. This training 1 year I had a lot of difficulty. Means for the first time I left Tirupati. I was only knowing my village and Tirupati. So going to Bangalore was a big work for me. So in those 3 months of indoctrination training, it was a very, very tough training.
Basic training, yeah.
Basic training. There was no communication. There are no letters. And because we had no address, 3 GTS, suppose we write AP Naidu 3 GTS, God knows where it goes. They used to bring that bundle and then throw it in the veranda. Okay. So I was so pained. Sometimes I used to go to the end of parade ground and start crying like anything. It used to relieve my attention. I used to feel pressure.
So tension relief therapy.
Yeah. There was Mr. Govind Swami with me. He was two numbers senior to me.
Okay.
He used to command me, telling that I am senior to you. You have to listen to whatever I say.
Okay.
I said, Baba, okay. So he asked me, where you are going in the evening time sometime? I said, Baba, I am going like that. I am relieving my tension like this. Then he also came with me.
So what was the tension, sir? What was it?
I do not know what is happening to my brother and mother.
Achha, homesickness.
Homesickness. There is nobody here. Those 3 months we cannot walk. It is only running, that indoctrination training. And food, whatever they give, we have to wait, stand in the queue and things like that. There is nobody who talk to us kindly and affectionately. So I said,
in the
okay.
beginning, yes, sir. It's a beginning without any bondage with all the
that's-
people. Yeah.
Because I was having my childish attitude even
mentality.
then.
Yes,
So
sir.
when they sent me to, when I was posted to 16 SU Ambala, I think there was another fellow who was posted along with me. So we went to, they said, you go to Bangalore station, there will be the train and all. Then we reached Ambala. By then, the Chinese war started, and people started offering fruits, flowers, and things like that to the people who are traveling in trains in military compartments.
Achha, well, you went by military
what a
compartment or
great
reservation? No, did you get in reservation, sir, or went by military compartment?
No, you jump into the military. That one training box is there and one kit bag is there.
Okay.
With those two,
Yeah.
you jump into that. Then we landed in Ambala. Yes, I went to SU. Then I had a little relaxation by seeing that Punjab and things like that. A pleasant place with the fields and with coldness and something like that. So I was telling, okay, now we have reached one stage. What further I have to do? There so much of spare time is there. Then there was no other works to do. So we used to attend the signals, and we were covering 3 areas, Halwara, Ambala, and Kurukshetra. So I used to volunteer to go to outstation at any time there is a chance. We are going to Halwara for checking transmitters and signals or calibration or whatever it is. So I traveled like that, and within I think one year, 3 months, I got my conversion to WAM 1 course to again Bangalore. Then I came to Bangalore. I also passed that conversion into that AC1.
WAM 1.
WAM 1, AC1 I passed. And then, by then, another war is ready. 65.
Okay.
So I came to Bagdogra.
But you seem to be so young, sir. Not in mid 70s. You are looking like 60s boy.
You must clap to Indian Air Force for this.
Okay. Great.
It has molded us like that.
Yeah.
It's not our greatness.
Okay. Yeah, maintaining a good health.
Maybe in those days we wept and we felt bad, but there is something building up inside.
Yeah.
That determination, courage, health, and things like that.
Yes.
Which nobody would have offered other than Indian
Air Force. Yes.
Then 65, when I went to Bagdogra, one flight, in those days, it was, I think Air Force was all ruled by flight sergeants. We used to call them Chippy. And it's a memorable,
like our
character.
Like our Patak Sahib, he was also Chippy.
Yeah. It is a memorable character. Any station you go, there will be one Chippy. Your life depends upon his attitude.
Okay.
So that one Chippy, I think it was some Tiwari or somebody. Somehow or other, he used to like me because we attended our job and I was very sincere and I picked up my work very nicely. So then the war started. And even before war started, the panicky was such that we were not able to bear that tension. Every time you go to the billet, there is a siren, you run around within 30 seconds or so. So we used to be always in the uniform, only boots you remove and then lie down. Because they were practicing these raids and hideouts and things like that. I was not that much clear, but there was a tension all the time. You have to be ready. Anytime war will break out. A stage has come where we felt, Baba, let the war come and let it be over. Let us die or live. But this type of misery, all the time you are on duty.
Waiting for war is difficult than doing
Waiting
war.
for war is difficulty.
Yeah.
Then I remembered one saying, the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war.
Yeah.
And that is very, very true. That is
Yes.
very, very true. We were trained and prepared so much that at the sound of a whistle, we used to come out from the building fully dressed with that rifle, bullets and all, and jump into whatever the vehicle seen in front of us and go to any place where they take. We were not knowing where we are going, what we are intended to do it. So 5 people, they will live in one place. Another 5 people, they will live in one place. We do not know what is that place, either it is POL or it is some other security post or things like that, because we used to practice that blackout. So finally, one day, I was a radio mechanic. We had some small workshop beside the hangar. I was sitting and holding my headphones to say whether in that communication there is any disturbance, noise or whatever it is, because soon as the pilot comes back, he will tell, no, your radio was making so much of noise, there was so much of disturbance, like that. So sometimes we used to listen and confirm that things are going on well. All of a sudden, there was a heavy bombarding sound in the earphones. I said, what is this so much of noise? I removed. That noise continued. Then I realized, Baba, it is a war. War is going on. Because of the Air Force, I could not listen to the siren. So then I came out of the veranda. I found people running helter and shelter. On this side, some 4 or 6 Sabres, I don't not count.
Sabre aircraft.
Sabre aircraft started firing on the hangar, and it was tremendous noise and fear. So I ran to a trench. Then in the trench already there are 3 people. I think the instruction is that we have to be only 3 people. When the aircrafts come this side, you come onto this side.
Achha.
And when they come this side, you go to this side of the trench. So already 3 people, they said, no, you no place, you run away. Then I ran to some other place, I don't know where, with my rifle and things like that. I fell flat on the grass somewhere. So suddenly there was a big hit on my head. I thought, Baba, gone. I just rubbed my head and
so you
there was
tasted the real war. War.
There is no blood. I said, I am saved. I thanked God. Okay. By then another sortie is coming from this side. People surrounding me said, you take out your rifle and fire. Then we took out the rifle and fired on the aircraft.
In the air.
I don't know.
Okay.
They said fire, we have fired. Then after 2-3 sorties, they went off. Then some of our colleagues who are on the other side of the hangar, and one taking an aircraft, Vampire trainer taking off. It was
bombarded.
Bullet. They have not used bombs. Otherwise, we would have all gone.
Achha, bullets. Achha,
they
rockets.
were only using bullets. So
okay.
they have. The hangar was just like a mosquito net when we went and saw. They strapped on the
hangar,
thinking that there are aircrafts inside.
Okay.
But they were all in the pens.
Okay.
Being very thick jungle area, they could not look at the pens.
Okay.
Then when I got up, and we were not knowing where we are and what is happening. So 1 or 2 immediately medical van came and asking for whether any casualty, is there any casualty here and there. I said there is no casualty here. Other side there are. Then we went out. And
were there any casualties in the campus?
There were casualties. About 10-15 people killed, depending upon where they are located.
Okay.
If they are located in line with the
in Bagdora, that station itself or outside? Within Bagdora.
Within Bagdora, that airfield itself.
Okay. Right.
Airfield, they have started strapping the hangars.
Okay.
And one packet was there at the end of the runway, ready to take off. They have strapped it, and then it caught fire, and there was a big fire on the other, both the ends. One side this Vampire, on one side this packet.
Okay.
So a lot of panic came to us. We were not able to speak, and I don't know when the other siren will come and where we have to go.
So you're all under mental shock.
Totally. We were. It took a lot of time. Then one person by Ram Babu, he was a RT operator. He came from somewhere because we are there in that radio bay. He came running and we hugged each other and wept profusely. And then I thought, Baba, Ram Babu.
I'm feeling lucky.
Really lucky.
Yeah, okay.
And that fear, that fear of death near to you is unexplainable. If it comes suddenly, it's okay. We don't think of it. But when we expect, it may come at any time. That is the most fearsome.
That's a painful one.
Then we had another 15-20 days miserable time guarding our POLs, guarding our security points, and I don't know where they have kept us for guarding. There is no light. What we are guarding, where we are, that is also not known. Simply keep idle, standing idle, and when some truck comes, somebody will come, he will get down. We have to get inside and then come off, or they will give some chapati and curry on the hand. You take it and then complete your dinner. Like that, it's a miserable time. So the daytime, it's okay. We were moving because we can see something. We can run out for a hide or something like that. It was a thick, infested forest. That is a pity.
Yeah.
In those days. Then anyway, I stayed in those days at Bagdogra. In those days, we had gnats, vampires, and tufanis. So slowly, they have converted this. It was 29 squad. They have converted this into mix. But with Tufani itself, we went to Tezpur from there.
Okay.
We were operating Tufanis for some time. Then in 67 or so, when we were at Tezpur, I was in a group that is temporary.
Sir, here 1 second, sir. Before we go out of the 65 war, when we won the war, how did you celebrate? I mean, how did the station celebrate the success of war? Anything like that?
No, we had no occasion to celebrate anything. War ended. Okay, we are all happy.
Achha.
We have won. That is
okay.
the happy thing.
Okay.
People used to tell us so many stories that we did like this, because the main concentration on the western sector.
I see. Okay. You are on the eastern. Yes.
Yes, not on the eastern sector.
Yeah.
So when we felt we won the war, we were very, very, very happy. And in those days, there was no habit of drinking or enjoying and things like that. We have not celebrated, but we felt anyway.
Okay.
Near
Greatly relieved. Great relief.
Yeah, near Bagdogra, there used to be one canteen-like thing, one hut-like thing, where tea is served. So maximum we go to that place, have a cup of tea, and then come back. That was
in Bagdogra was the last posting where I did my LLB also from there.
I see.
I gave some of your feelings. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
We used to go there, and the girls used to serve tea in those all tea shops.
Okay.
So I had one friend, Mr. Chirian, a Keralite. So he is very fond of going there and having tea. So he used to pull me along with him.
Okay.
Along with him.
No, a lot of tea gardens around there.
Yeah. Very, very, very beautiful place.
Yes. Sir.
Our people, seniors who had motorcycle and all, they used to go to Nepal border also.
Dullabadi.
Yeah.
After Naxalbari. Yes.
That's correct. And they used to get some smuggled items.
Yeah.
And it was.
So we enjoyed. Yes. Enjoyable place.
It was a place where seniors enjoyed. And
yes,
then we went to Tezpur.
Okay.
Tezpur was a primitive airfield in those days. There was no. What I heard is there was no boundary of the Air Force station, and they were cutting one patch of trees and then building a compound wall. So whatever the tigers left inside the compound wall, they are inside. Whatever outside, they are outside. So in our mess, we used to have 1 or 2 photos of tigers killed by these grass cutters.
Acha, okay.
So that was the very, very primitive stage. We used to have billets as usual, some 20 persons or so in each and every billet. At the end of the billet, we have bathroom, and near the bathroom there is a hand pump. You pump water and then take bath in the open itself and then go off.
So borewells like that, there are no protective water kind of things over this.
No, nothing like that. Only borewell. You have to pump the borewell, then take a bucket to bathroom, or there itself you take a bath and things like that.
I see. Okay. Yes, sir.
So one day at 6 o'clock or so, it was just then getting dark. I was taking a bath outside. Then I found 2 torchlight things lighting little away distance, about 200 meters or so.
Okay.
Very powerful light like thing. Then I realized it must be tiger, because
ice reflection.
Yeah, ice reflection.
Yeah.
We had that billet security lights, isn't it? Others on 4 ends there are security lights. So then I just ran for my life.